What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Uriah for the Hub of Fantasy Football with my co-host, Foley.
It is Foley. And before we go any further, I want to talk to you about today's sponsor. You're going to like this sponsor. It is the Dallas County Jail, the only jail in America with an NFL athletic trainer in the facilities providing services to inmates. How do you like that? If you want to drive at ridiculous speeds and endanger lives, Dallas is the place to do it because you can still have your athletic trainer just come to the facilities and rehab you when you make dumb choices. Dallas County Jail, today's sponsor.
That's awesome. Also, another sponsor that I just got an update on was DraftKings. Yes, if you're willing to bet on yourself, we're willing to sponsor it.
New spokesperson, Brendan Soarsby?
Absolutely.
What's your take on the...
Go ahead.
No, I'm asking, what's your take on the Soarsby deal?
So I am going to be. I haven't even said this to anybody because I understand. I see both sides of it. One from Soarsby's side, dude's got a problem. Plain and simple. Did he do something wrong? Yes. But at your age, Michael, let's say 20 or 21, however old he is, I don't know, 20 or 21, would you love to go back to 2021 and have a judge say, hey, man, we're just going to wipe that out?
Yes. I was an idiot at 2021.
I was. But what I'm saying is, I get it.
I still am, by the way. Some say that I still am.
I get it, and I understand. But on the flip side, it is wrong.
And consequences actions have consequences.
As all of us have paid.
Yes. So, I mean, look, the thing I want to be careful about here is you will never, ever, 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 ever hear me defending the NCAA.
Oh, yeah.
They are...
Yeah.
As far as I am concerned, they are one of the most evil institutions in the history of sports.
Yeah.
I hate the NCAA. However, even I am of the opinion that, like, this judge from Lubbock, Texas, by the way, the judge who made the ruling from Lubbock, Texas. I don't know if our listeners know what's in Lubbock, Texas, but I'll give you a hint. It's Brendan Soarsby's school.
Yeah, isn't the judge supposed to be responsible and make responsible decisions for the many people?
Right. And so we're in this situation where, like, it seems that the two choices were he's just banned from the NCAA or it's a 2-game suspension. And I feel like there's got to be a middle ground between those two. But between those two options, I mean, part of the ruling was like, oh, if we banned him from the NCAA, that would be irreparably damaging to him. And it's like, I mean, he's going to go in the supplemental draft, and he might go in the second round of the supplemental draft to someone like Arizona and make money right away in the NFL. Like, he will be on an NFL team if he gets banned from the NCAA.
Yeah.
I don't really buy this logic of like, oh, it's too hard on him to get banned from college football when he's going to go into a job where he's making $707,000 a year.
Yeah, like I said, I get both sides of it. I think there should definitely be a punishment, and 2 games is not it.
Yeah,
whatever that can be. I mean, I'm not a judge and I'm not a lawyer, so I can't dive into that. But it should be more than 2 games. And also, like if it was anything normal, like, you know, dude bet on a game, threw a game, something like that, you're out. But dude went to rehab. He has a problem. We all deserve second chances.
Absolutely.
So, but like, I mean, you throw in, like you said, it could go a million different ways, but I do not think, like you said, a judge from Lubbock should have made that call.
Right. It sounded a little odd to me. And I'll also say, look, I want to acknowledge that it is different that he bet on himself and wasn't like betting against himself.
But he was betting the under.
Oh, was he? I thought he only bet the over on him.
No, he bet the under on everything.
I thought he bet the. Oh, in that case, no. That
Yeah.
changes my whole perception. I thought he bet on himself to win games.
I could be. I think he took the under on all the scores.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I think that's an important distinction. Like, if he bet the over, it's bad. If he bet the under, it's like he should never be allowed to play football again on either level. Like, he shouldn't be allowed to play college football anymore, and he shouldn't go into the NFL. He should just be done if he bet the under. But even if he bet the over, because I've heard a lot of people say, "Hey, he bet on himself. That's not so bad." It's still just such a slippery slope.
It is.
You got to draw a line. Now, that said, I don't know. You watch college football. I don't. I know that the NFL is in partnership with DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. I don't know if the NCAA has that same thing or if the SEC has that same thing. They don't. That's good.
I don't think so.
Okay. Because I do get really annoyed when Calvin Ridley or Jameson Williams or some other NFL player gets busted gambling, and the NFL, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, says, "I am shocked to learn that there is gambling going on here."
It's such. Look, this is the part and rant, and I need to stop. I'll just say this: this is what's wrong with the U.S. In Japan and China and England. You have the rowboat. You got 12 rowers, and you got one guy who steers. Here in America, we got 12 guys who steer and one guy who rows. And then you know what happens when everything goes bad? They fire the rower. So anyway, let's move on to some fantasy football related stuff.
Do it.
This episode, first we're going to hit some notes, we're going to hit some news, but the whole episode we're going to focus on is how to play fantasy football. So let's go with the news first. What you got, Foley?
Well, I want to talk about, this is kind of news related. The NFL official schedule has released since the last time we were on here. And I think most of it, I don't care. But there are just a few things that I think are fantasy relevant for us to talk about. Number one is the strength of schedule. So for most people, the strength of schedule does not matter. Most people, if you're not at either extreme, it just doesn't really make a difference. Yeah. It's hard to predict what's actually going to happen. But it matters for about 5 teams. It matters for the 3 teams with the easiest schedule and the 2 teams with the hardest schedules. That's how it shakes out pretty much every year. I think a really good example of this is last year. New England Patriots had the second easiest schedule in the NFL. We knew that going into the season, and that played out. And we saw what that did for Drake May's numbers and took them to a Super Bowl. Hell, I'm a Patriots fan. I don't think they belonged in the Super Bowl. They got very, very lucky. And so I just want to go through the teams that this actually affects. The teams that benefit from the schedule. Number 1, the Detroit Lions, the easiest schedule in the NFL this year.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I mean, you think of all the fantasy weapons they have, and they get a cake schedule.
Stock up on them this year.
Absolutely. And number 2, the New Orleans Saints.
Interesting.
And number 3, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Give me some Jamar Chase. So those are the 3 teams that I'm going to be moving up in my rankings, their players, just because they're going to have a lot of opportunities. And then the 2 that, look, I'm pretty much I'm going to say it now. I don't think I'll draft anyone from these 2 teams.
And I think we both agree on this too. So
the Arizona Cardinals are by far the hardest schedule in the NFL. They have a brutal schedule. And so whatever I think about Jeremiah Love, not interested. Michael Wilson, no. If we end up doing 2 keepers, I might consider keeping Michael Wilson in our league. But
just I don't know if you've heard the buzz around the camp, but the buzz around the Arizona Cardinals camp is in the running back position. And it's not Jeremiah Love.
Tyler Algier?
No. Somebody back from an injury.
Oh, he was a rookie 2 years ago?
No, former Pittsburgh Steeler. Now I can't think of his name. Go.
Najee Harris?
No. Go ahead. Keep on going. I'll find him.
Anyway, so the Cardinals are 1, and I can give in a little bit another little camp update from the Cardinals for whatever it's worth. And then number 2, also very, very brutal schedule, the Miami Dolphins. These were already going to be not good teams, and then you give them a bad schedule on top of it. I just don't want to touch anyone, not even Devon Achane, Not even Jeremiah Love. I'm just not Trey McBride, probably. I'm just not interested in those two teams because their schedules are going to be so hard. Now, you could make the case for someone like Trey McBride. Hey, they're going to be playing from behind all game. Maybe. I'm just not into it.
James Conner.
James Conner.
They are blowing up about James Conner. And I was like, what? How does Arizona have a stacked backfield this year?
I love James Conner. I don't see any world where he's anything but the third best back on that team at this point in his career, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, you know how these camp rumblings go this time of year.
The other thing to say on the Cardinals is their receiver room with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson. So new head coach coming in, formerly worked with the Rams, and people are all over this. He has said that it's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. in the Devontae Adams role and Michael Wilson in the Puka Nacua role. Oh, so exciting. There's a couple problems with that, though.
Quarterback?
Problem number one, just like I have always been a Michael Wilson fan. I had him, I might have had him as my wide receiver 2 behind Jackson Smith and Jigba in his draft class. I was really, really high on Michael Wilson, but he is an X receiver. Puka Nacua doesn't play X. When they put Michael Wilson in Z, he has not been as good. When Marvin Harrison got hurt and they put Wilson in the X role last year, he dominated. He balled out. That's just what he does. So I don't like that. But number 2, don't read anything into what I just repeated from the coach about, oh, this is the Devontae Adams role and this is the Puka Nacua role, because there's also Trey McBride in this offense. It's going to look different. It's not going to be the same as the Rams offense. So that's an example of when you hear all these training camp things, use a little bit of common sense. It's not going to shake out quite that way.
Absolutely. But so let's move in. We will go now. We'll go straight into it because you said that. And let's see. I'm sorry. Where you at? Done lost you for a second. So
right here.
So we will go in. I want to expand on that, but first we got to talk about the basics. Fantasy football for the noobs in the crowd, the tens and tens of noobs. Fantasy football, basically, you got to watch the NFL, or you don't really have to. But anyway, so you draft a starting lineup, quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Usually it's 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, and then flex players, which could be any position besides the quarterback, unless you're in a super flex, which is a whole nother thing. But so basically, and then you draft a defense. You get the points as a total, not individual like you do on the offense. So all that, you can kind of look that up. But what I wanted to dive into is sort of like how we do things. So Foley, I'll start with you. Let's do preparing. How do you prepare for the upcoming season? And I know, hey, let's keep it short, but how do you prepare for the season?
Well, if you're a fantasy football beginner, you should not do what Foley does.
Oh,
I'm just
it's deep.
It's deep. I am being honest. I have an analytics system, a patented analytics system. For those who don't know, it is called Folalytics.
It is a crazy system. You don't want to get wrapped up in that.
Essentially, like, I have a lot of spreadsheets and coming up with formulas to determine where these players will land in my rankings, and I'm moving them up and down, put a little bit of my own bias into it. But I have just sort of a spreadsheet of all the players, and I'm moving them up or down based on what I see. But I'm going deep into it. I'm looking at past production. I'm really looking at the depth chart. I'm a big fan of Uriah poo-poos this, but I think preseason matters a lot. We'll talk closer to the season, I'm sure, about what to actually look for in a preseason game. But if you know what you're looking for in a preseason game, you can learn a lot from that. It's how I knew to draft Kenneth Gainwell last year and not the rookie, Caleb Johnson. It's how I knew Caleb Johnson was going to be a dud last year, because I saw what was happening in the preseason. You can get on those trends if you know what you're looking for. So that's one thing. I mean, in general, I think it's just being plugged into the NFL. If you're plugged in and you understand, like, you got to think about things a little bit differently than you do normal football, because it's not necessarily who's going to win and who's going to lose. It's just who's going to have a good game? Who's going to get fed the ball? Who has a good matchup, or who is going to be deployed in a certain way? AJ Brown going to New England, how does that affect him? Do you think AJ Brown's going to be better with New England than he was with Philly, or worse, or the same? Like, those are the questions you have to ask yourself.
So, and I will say this now, I'm not poo-pooing having a good time and drafting your favorite players, but in reality, that's probably not going to happen unless you like best ball or something like that. And even then, it's not going to work out. You'll think like, oh, it's the top people, but it never works out like that. But yeah,
I'm sorry, so you're saying don't draft all Cincinnati Bengals with your first 3 or 4 picks?
Yeah, yeah. But if he wouldn't have got hurt, but that's woulda, coulda, shoulda. That just goes back to the old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So, but
Yeah.
saying, and I am not a Bengals fan fully, but I thought it would be an awesome stack. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, so look, the way Foley hit it on the nail, hit the head on the nail on the head, whatever. You want to do a little bit of research. I mean, you can go real deep, you can go kind of deep. The one of the things I've always done is I will go back 3 years and I will add up 2 through 12 in each position. I will add that up, divide it by the number, and that will give me in my league the most valuable position for points. And that's kind of a rolling, 1 year's running back, 1 year's wide receiver. And I draft the most important people based by that's how I do it. But then there's also just having feelings and watching the game and listening to people. Like right now, Foley is driving me crazy because I haven't listened to any rankings or anything. I'm trying to keep my head clear so I can do that for myself.
That's how I like to approach it too. Yeah.
Don't
let other people bias you.
Yes, dude. Look, and don't look for what was it? Dr. Phasmo's draft sheet that James had.
Osimo?
Dr. Osimo. Yes. Don't look. I get lists and everything, but please have your own list. Be your own person.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, I think if you are a beginner, though, you can start with a list. I mean, the good news is this is what's great. If you're a first-time fantasy football player, first of all, you're probably not listening in June. You haven't started about it yet, but whatever.
And you're probably not listening to this, but whatever.
Welcome to the one person who might be. You're probably not doing an in-person draft. You're probably drafting from an app like Yahoo or ESPN or maybe Sleeper. And if you are, they're going to give you their own rankings as you draft. And all you've really got to do is just look at the like top 5 to 10 players on their rankings and look through and say, hey, which of these 5 to 10 do I really want on my team? For your first time, I think that's as far as you need to go. Then once you have had the experience of your first year doing it, I think your second year is where you can start to really say, I'm going to build out my own system for how I do this now that I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes along with a lot of things. I mean, it's, you can go as far and deep in the weeds as you want to. That's what makes this fun. Like the best thing to do is live drafts with your friends. And you will have some people who are deep in the weeds, and then you have some people with Dr. Osimo's list who are just there to have a good time and do whatever.
Yeah. So, but if you do print out a list from the internet,
make sure it's the right year.
Yes, make sure it's the right year. I will warn you, if you see Austin Eckler as a first round pick on your list, something has gone wrong. Yes. And you should find a different list. Make sure it is the most up-to-date list possible. And that's the thing, like, I kind of came in, I'm a much younger man than you, Uriah. I don't know if you know this.
Stop it.
I came in at the tail end of the generation of magazines. And I still laugh when one or two of our friends still show up with the magazines.
Talking about you, Matt.
I was thinking of Garland.
Grandpa.
But yes, congratulations, Garland. I know you're a big fan of the show. But you'll see if you go to probably Target, certainly a bookstore, or you'll see these magazines, right? With your ultimate fantasy football guide. We're in a world today, friends and neighbors, where you just should not buy that. It
Yeah.
is it's kind of garbage, to be honest. It's kind of a scam because you can find better information for free because those things are so out of date by the time they hit the shelves. Somebody will have torn their ACL. Someone else will have been traded.
Some people's not
Someone,
even playing.
yeah, or retired,
Yeah.
right? Like I can think about one year in particular where if you had bought that magazine, you might have drafted Andrew Luck, who had already retired, and Lamar Miller, who had already torn his ACL.
Yeah.
Because the magazine would have said, "Hey, these are great people to pick in fantasy football." So it's just don't buy the magazine. It's too out of date. If you're getting rankings, I think that's cool. Just get it online and get it as close to draft day as possible.
Absolutely. So let's now go into little tips and tricks that we all do. One thing to do, and I would always recommend this, is a mock draft. And I have a little bit of a trick I do, but mock draft is basically anywhere on the internet. You can search it up and bam, 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 there's millions of them. My trick is what I like to do is I like to have certain people that I want to pick, and I will not draft those guys in the mock drafts. I let the computer or the other people based on analytics pick them, and then I use that where I should pick them. Does that make sense? So, like,
Yeah.
so it's basically what you do is say you want Michael Pittman, and you really like Michael Pittman. He's your favorite wide receiver, but you would be dumb to take him number one.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you just find out where his average draft position, and you will see that some magazines, some lists have ADP, and they will tell you that Michael Pittman goes in the 5th round. So what I would say is if you got to have Michael Pittman, 4th round, or see how your draft goes and then plan accordingly. If you got to take him in the 3rd round, like I said, some people have to have a certain player on their team, and I understand that.
I'm really glad you said that. This is getting. I'm going to say this at the risk of
Telling everything.
tangent, and yeah, telling everything. I always in life and in football, I like to ask, "What did you learn from this? What did you?" So, okay, this thing just happened. What did you learn? What can you do better? And listen, I just won. I'm coming off a championship.
Stop it.
I could easily say, "Oh, there's nothing for me to learn. I was perfect." The learning is Analytics has been perfected, but the truth is, there's always things I can improve on. Until I reach that mythical undefeated season, there's more for me to improve upon. And one of my learnings from this year, and this is something I'm going to adjust, is I do have a tendency to reach too far on players that I believe in. It's a thing. I just because I create my own rankings and I don't let other people influence it. If I say someone, "Hey, this guy is a 4th round pick," it doesn't matter to me that everyone else is taking him in the 12th round. I'm like, I'm taking him in the 4th. I'm not doing that anymore. I learned my lesson specifically with JJ McCarthy, where I took him way high, like way, way high. And it obviously it didn't work out. But also, like, I could have gotten him several rounds earlier and gotten another running back, and I just would have been in much better shape and still gotten the guy that I wanted. And so, yeah, I am going to do sort of a check of an ADP check on these things and say, I'm going to have him higher than his ADP, but I'm not that much higher. There's going to be a ceiling. There's going to be a cap on how high I'm allowed to take this guy.
So I will also say, just kind of picking off that, what Foley just said, just remember also when you play fantasy football, having a good draft is only part
Absolutely.
of what's going on. So if you have a good draft, a great draft, or a kind of bad draft, like he said, he took JJ McCarthy way early. He still won. So you can always win with the waiver wires, and we didn't talk about that. Waiver wires is basically week-to-week basis where you pick up people that were better than the people you have on your team. So you pick them up and you drop the bad people on your team.
Yep.
So you can always win that way. Of course, you want to have a banging draft. What they say? Crap, I can't think of it. Anyway, don't worry about it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Fire.
It was something. Gas. Got that gas.
Yeah.
Gas.
Yeah. All gas, no breaks in my draft room.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think I want to level set with our audience about. There's always a lot of debate about like the amount of luck that it takes to win fantasy football, and I feel pretty strongly about this. I think to make it to the playoffs and just get through the regular season, I think that is 70% luck and 30% skill. I think once you are in the playoffs to make the run, it is 70% luck and 30% skill. Like it just completely flips. It takes knowing what you're doing to make it to the playoffs, but then it's just like
luck.
Everyone's good, and it's just kind of luck in terms of who makes it the distance, which is why I take great pride in the fact that I almost always make the playoffs. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would want to highlight. I mean, I'll make a quick plug. We made fun of DraftKings earlier, but they are one of the apps that does this. Best ball. Yeah. So I don't really do mock drafts very often, but I do a lot of best ball drafts. And what that is you draft your team and you don't have to do anything from there. It will automatically start the best performing players of the week every week. And so you draft and forget, and maybe you end up winning some money at the end of the year. Maybe you don't, but certainly it is, I find, better than mock drafts because with the computer, well, two things. Number one, if you're mock drafting with other people, it tends to go really, really slow.
Yeah.
And if you're mock drafting against a computer, which we might do in a second, by the way, if you want, the computer's just wrong a lot of times. Like it doesn't accurately predict what people are going to do. I find that just getting the feel of what people are actually going to do in a draft in a best ball setting where you have a timer set for like 30 seconds per pick, it just goes so fast and you just really get to know, like, okay, I know instinctively when this guy usually goes in drafts. It'll be a little different when you get to actual draft day, but it gives you a good baseline. And it's a lot of fun. If you're like me, you love drafting, best ball can be a lot of fun. But do it responsibly because a lot of it costs money.
Well, I like that. I'll say I should have been more prepared, and I'm not, and I apologize for that. A lot of our things are off the top of the head, so.
Well, look, there was one thing on the schedule release that I meant to mention and didn't. So I talked about the easiest and hardest schedules, but the other thing I wanted to talk about was playoff schedule and especially fantasy championship schedule. So this is an in the weeds thing. Beginners who are just listening, maybe tune this part out because this is deep. This is a process that I am still working on how it fits into Foldlytics exactly. I know how to do this for best ball, all right? And I incorporate this into my best ball strategy, but you have to be a little bit more careful with how you incorporate this into a regular league. But it is worth trying to target teams that you think will have a good schedule in the playoffs and specifically in week 17. Sometimes you're just going to be wrong about it. But what I will say is in week 17, Ravens versus Bengals looks pretty appealing in the fantasy championship. If I had, say, Lamar Jackson and Jamar Chase on my team,
you'd be happy?
Yeah, because I mean, that might be some fireworks, man. Like those two teams both had terrible defenses last year, haven't really done a ton to make it better this year. They've done some things, don't get me wrong, but could still be not great defenses against these two high-powered offenses. I would be looking for exposure to those two teams. And then a few teams that I think are not quite as good as far as their Week 17 matchup, but they have really good playoff schedules. Number one, the Chicago Bears. And the problem with the Bears is just if they end up, one of these three games ends up being a snow game, it might screw you over. But Week 15 at the Bills, Josh Allen versus Caleb Williams should be good. Week 16 in Chicago against the Packers, and Week 17 for the Fantasy Football Championship in Chicago against the Detroit Lions. Bears versus Lions, I think, is just all in this current era going to be a fireworks show every single time. And I would be really interested in that. I'm probably going to move the Bears up, like all Bear players up to just a touch. Similarly to Chiefs, we'll see what happens with Rashee Rice, but Patriots, 49ers, and Chargers. And then the Cowboys, Rams, Jaguars, and Giants. Those are fantasy playoff schedules that I am immediately attracted to.
Yeah. Like I said, if you got any questions, which I know you will, feel free to holler at us and we will help you out the best we can. So
drop that comment on the YouTube video or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, absolutely. What else you got? Anything?
We can do a mock draft if you want.
Let's do it. I'm good with that.
Do it. After I just poo-pooed mock drafts, after I just said, I don't love the computers, but we'll see what we can come up with here. I'm just going to go with normal settings if that's cool. 15 rounds, 12 teams. Tell me though, what position you want to draft at? Do you want to be pick number 1, pick number 12?
Let's go 6, right in the middle.
6, right in the middle. All right. Let's do it.
This is probably going to be terrible.
So first of all, I just want to peek at who has already forget how to do that somewhere. Oh. So with Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka Nacua, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and now we are on the clock.
Well, this is going to be hard.
I mean, I'm looking hard at Justin Jefferson. I know he's coming off a bad year.
All right, give me the top 2 wide receivers and the top 2 running backs.
So you got Jackson Smith-Njigba and Justin Jefferson, and you got Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor, I guess.
Ooh.
Some would say Achane, some would say James Cook.
I wouldn't touch Achane, but that's me.
I think it is either Christian McCaffrey or one of the top 3 wide receivers: JSN, Justin Jefferson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay, so this is where I would come from in this. And the first 5 picks, how many wide receivers went?
3 wide receivers, 2 running backs.
I would say Christian McCaffrey then.
Okay. Just to even things out?
No, I would think. I don't know what I think. Just a feeling.
Just feeling.
Just feeling. Vibe. What are you? Just vibes. I'm just vibing.
Just vibes. So I'm not saying we have to do this, and I'm not saying this is what I would do in a real draft. But even in a 1 quarterback league, I am really coming around to the idea that Josh Allen is the man in the second round. He's just been so good at the quarterback position for so long. I almost think it's worth paying up for. When I look at all these other guys, right, you got Trey McBride. I don't think he's going to be as good as he was last year. Ken Walker, maybe he is.
I don't trust it.
But Brock Bowers had a lot of injuries last year. A.J. Brown, maybe he's going to be awesome. Maybe he's getting older. Nico Collins, maybe. That's probably the one I'm most interested of everyone I've said. I don't like Chase Brown. I know you do. George Pick, can he keep it up? Chris Olave, is he going to get concussed? Devontae Smith, can he be a wide receiver 1? There's just all these players with question marks, and then there's Josh Allen.
So here's my rebuttal with the Josh Allen. I totally agree with you. But I think the difference between him and, like, say, number 6 quarterback is going to be pretty much the same-ish. Will Josh Allen be better than the number 6? Absolutely. We don't know who that is right now, so this is where you have to. This is where my analytics.
Yeah.
I don't think we should pay up.
I'll defer to you. Yeah. The last thing I'll say though is, like, I usually agree with you. In 1 quarterback leagues, I'm always happy to wait on quarterbacks. I generally wait on quarterbacks, but I've just come around to this idea of, like you said, we don't know who quarterback 6 is, but we know Josh Allen's going to be.
I'll tell you what, let's play the game. Take Josh Allen.
Let's do it. Taking Josh Allen.
And then when the next quarterback comes off the clock, let's see when and who it is.
Yeah. Let's see. I bet Lamar has already been taken by now, huh?
I bet he hadn't. I bet he's 3rd or 4th round.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, nobody's taken a quarterback since we went. But I'm okay with that. That.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not loving the 2nd and 3rd round players right now.
Well, I think I would have leaned toward Nico. I really like the Texans this year. Just throwing it out there.
Nico was the one I was thinking about. Nico was the one where I was like, okay, I would be willing to take Nico. I mean, so Garrett Wilson's still on the board. Chris Olave is still on the board. Kyron Williams, Devontae Smith, Brees Hall. Probably too early for a Bucky Irving or a Tedero McMillan.
Is Bauer still there or Laporta?
Laporta probably is. Laporta is. Bowers is not. Colston Loveland's also there.
Oh,
I would go Colston. Although,
it's too early, I think.
Here's what I'll say. Like I like Colston Loveland. I love Luther Burden, and I'm kind of wanting between the two. I would rather if I'm going to bear, I would not that I'm saying we should do it yet. I think it's still around too early for Burden, but I'm just saying thinking ahead. Like
okay,
I'm on Luther Burden right now.
Give me top 2 running backs, top 2 wide receivers.
Let's see. Running backs would be Kyron Williams and Brees Hall. Wide receivers would be Chris Olave and Devontae Smith.
Oh gosh,
I think it's Kyron.
I'd almost say Devontae, but it's so hard to trust the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with Devontae. I think I would lean Kyron, but given the fact that he was sharing the workload more last year, and
that's what
now that's kind of Philly. If you want to go Devontae, I can be okay with that.
Let's do Devontae, and while we're doing that, I'll say this: Foley comes from a different place. I come from a different place. Foley will take Laporta, Bowers, people like that in the early rounds. I will not. I'm more of a lower mid-tier, and if the value for me is not there, then we're just going to wait to the final, and I'll pick up a rookie or somebody like that. That's me, though.
I go back and forth, and this year I'm probably more on your side. I don't like the early tight ends. Some years I do. Last year I did. I thought there was a clear top 3 and then a big drop-off. I don't know that I feel that way this year. So it just kind of depends.
Look, and I may not be that great at wide receivers and running backs, but let me tell you, my friend, I know the tight end position, and I can tell you who's going to be good at it. But go ahead.
So you want to keep waiting at tight end?
Yes.
So should we take Luther Burden now, or should we wait? We can play it out. He'll probably be. I think we can wait another round for Luther Burden. I want to get Luther Burden, but I think we can wait.
So at this point, I'd look at running backs because it should be getting really. If it's crappy, we'll just go wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, it's Bucky, it's Travis Etienne, and Quinshawn Judkins. I think are the.
I'd say Bucky.
I agree. Like, there's still that injury risk with him, or is he going to be healthy or not? But yeah, I think I'm cool with taking Bucky. And I might want to take Ken Gainwell later on in the draft just as a handcuff.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to beg for us to take Luther Burden now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I think it's a big year for Luther Burden. My guy.
So now I would look at the tight end position and I would compare it. If I can get like a top 5 tight end right here, I would probably definitely go for it. But if he's gone, I'd probably just go back running back.
Tucker Kraft, right? I mean, Tucker Kraft is there. I don't think he'll be there the next round. The drop off from there it's George Kittle coming off his injury, then Travis Kelce, Dalton Kincaid, Mark Andrews. You're talking about a drop off. I think this is it. I think Tucker Kraft is the last stop. Unless we want to wait and get a rookie, like you said.
I would do one or two things. I would probably wait another round because I think there's 4 people probably ahead of, like, I'd be totally fine with Kincaid or somebody like that. So I would risk it for another round and see if I could get something better, wide receiver or running back.
I mean, I'd be tempted by Alec Pierce personally. I know how you feel, and I have the same reservations, but as a wide receiver 3, Alec Pierce could Christian Watson, actually.
No, you can have him.
Okay, I'm getting interested in Christian Watson. There's still DK Metcalf, Courtland Sutton, Mekhi Lemon. No, we can't do Mekhi Lemon. We've already got what's his name, Devontae Smith. Michael Wilson is there. Marvin Harrison Jr. You can take your pick of. I mean, if none of the wide receivers are standing out to you, the running backs are DeAndre Swift. Oh, by the way, Mike Evans. I shouldn't just gloss over Mike Evans being a wide receiver.
Of course, you're going to put Mike Evans in there.
DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard. We're not taking Ramondre Stevenson. I'm telling you that right now. Jalen Warren.
Man,
Rico Dowdle.
man, this has got bad.
Yeah, man.
Ooh,
Your boy Putin.
man, I'm telling you, Tubman's going to be the deal, but I think you could get him further down. Of course, I haven't done one of these, so I don't know where he's going.
We know who's going to still be
Let's
available.
go wide receiver. You pick him. I'm fine with Pierce.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to take Pierce then. I'm interested by Pierce. As a wide receiver 3, he's a lot of upside. All right, and we're back on the clock. Christian Watson is still there. Tucker Kraft is still there.
Is he the top one?
Top tight end? Yeah, for sure.
Let's go Kraft. I feel dirty doing this way, but let's go Kraft. Now, also saying this, people, if you take a tight end like Kraft, he is a set it and forget it guy, pretty much.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I will say for our newbies, generally the way I go about it when I'm in a normal league, if I take a quarterback first, like I did in this case, then I am for sure going to wait on tight end, and I'm going to get 2 tight ends. If I take a tight end first, then I'm not going to get a backup tight end, and I'm going to get 2 quarterbacks later on. That's generally my formula.
Okay, let's do this. How many rounds have we done?
We are in round 8, so we've done 7 rounds so far.
Okay, give me the top 5 quarterbacks left.
Oh, so you do want a backup quarterback?
No. I'm just I'm using this for reference when we took one earlier. We took Josh Allen.
Okay. So you got Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, your boy Kyler Murray.
Okay.
And look, any of those would be really good.
So saying that, I would be totally fine skipping Josh Allen and getting Herbert or Caleb Williams.
That's fair.
And
that's fair.
You could have used that's where we're just throwing this out here, where you see how we got like an awesome quarterback, but if you look at it, did we pay the price for wide receiver and running back position territory? So
yeah, no, it's totally fair, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, what we could have done was instead of Josh Allen, we spend the next 2 rounds here on quarterback, so we get Justin Herbert and Caleb Williams, or I would like to go like a safe and upside pick. So, okay, Justin Herbert we know is going to be a really safe pick, and then Kyler Murray could be a lottery ticket. Maybe you go something like that, or I mean, Brock. Any of these guys, really, any of these combinations would be fine. Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence, I'd be fine with that. So yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just when I looked at who was available in round 2. Like you said, Nico Collins, I would have been okay with Nico Collins, but any of the others, I'm just kind of like,
yeah,
give me the best quarterback in fantasy football. But I understand where you're coming from. All right, so that said, what are we doing?
Let's do 2 more rounds and then we'll call it instead of doing the whole.
I'm going to subject you to this whole thing, even if I just go myself really quick. We're going to finish.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Who do you want? We got Christian Watson still on the board, but I don't like Watson anymore now that we have Kraft. I don't want to double up on Packers. Michael Wilson's still there. I don't really believe in Rico Dowdle personally. I don't believe in RJ Harvey. Jordan Mason. I'd be interested in Jordan Mason or Jacoby Myers. I'd be fine with either of those. Like Corum.
Oh, gosh, this is hard without looking at it.
Is it?
Oh, give me top 3 wide receivers.
I'm wondering if Uriah doesn't realize that I'm sharing my screen this whole time.
I don't see anything. All I see is an M.
Really? Well, I hope our viewers can see this because I am sharing my screen.
Well,
anyways,
I wish I saw it. Yeah,
give me top 3 wide receivers.
Yeah,
Christian Watson, Mekhi Lemon, Michael Wilson.
Michael Wilson, and I feel dirty by saying that.
I'm good with that.
I feel like now we have to go running back. I would say next 2 picks running backs.
Next 2 picks running backs. We got. I'm still saying no to Ramondre Stevenson.
I get that.
I think it's Jordan Mason or Blake Corum.
Let's go Mason.
Yeah,
and we might get Corum next. So.
You're right, we might. And the other people are drafting. And, Corum is still there.
Let's get him.
You want to do it? Hell yeah. All right, we got 3 picks left and then just a kicker and defense.
Let's go another tight end.
Another tight end. Dalton Kincaid.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Got him. While the draft is going, I'm just going to read out who we've got so far. Quarterback, we've got Josh Allen. Running back, we've got Christian McCaffrey, Bucky Irving, Jordan Mason, Blake Corum. Wide receiver, we've got Devontae Smith, Luther Burden, Alec Pierce, Michael Wilson. And a tight end, we've got Tucker Kraft and Dalton Kincaid.
Sounds
I'm
decent.
thinking, yeah. A wide receiver? You
Sure.
think? One more wide out.
Is the who the Titans draft?
Yeah.
He's gone, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure he's gone.
Oh, well.
Let me search his name, though. Cornell Tate. Yeah, he's gone. But who's your sleepers? I mean, Omar Cooper's there. Like, I think this is going to be our last wide receiver. This is our last one, period. Wide receiver or running back. Give us a dark horse.
Oh, let's go Cooper. Omar Cooper.
Going Omar Cooper. All right. There it is. And we're just going to take.
What?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. We do get one more. So give me a sleeper running back.
What round did Tootin go? I just want to know, just for.
Let me see if I can find that. I cannot easily tell.
That's fine. No big deal.
Yeah.
Let's go. Ooh, Nate Singleton.
Nate Singleton. So I was about to suggest Keaton Mitchell, but we can go Singleton. Nick Singleton, do you mean? Isn't his name Nick?
Yeah, it's Nick. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Nate.
Wanted the Titans so bad. Let's do it though.
Let's do it.
Singleton.
Look, I'm kind of low key on the Titans this year. Carnell Tate looks awesome.
All right, and then I'm just going to draft us a kicker and tight end, or kicker and defense rather. We're going Kaimi Fairbairn for our kicker.
Nice.
Should have gone Tyler Bass just for Tony, but oh well. And last but not least, for our defense, we are going with the Minnesota Vikings. And there you have it, folks. Hopefully you can see, our viewers on YouTube can see my screen where it's about to show our full team, even though poor Uriah cannot. I don't know what's up with that.
No idea what's going on.
That was fun. I mean, so PFF gave us a C, but I don't care. I don't care what they think. I think that was a decent draft. I like this team, especially the players that I picked.
Of course.
That's it for me. Oh, I got one more completely non-football related thing if you want.
Go ahead.
Talk for like 10 seconds while I go grab it.
Oh, this is interesting. I don't know what to say. I know that sounds crazy for me. What movies Okay, go ahead.
As always, choking under pressure. I don't know if you're familiar. I feel like you're going to be familiar with the miniseries, but I just read, and it's hard with this background, but Lonesome Dove for the first time.
Great book. Great TV show.
Oh my God. Let me just talk about this. I'm reading the sequel right now.
Oh, good. So, how have you not read this being in the South?
Dude, it's been on my list forever, and there was a specific reason I always waited. But let me just tell you, his son is one of my favorite songwriters.
Who's his
James
son?
McMurtry. James McMurtry. He's like a alt country Americana singer. He's played the Hattiesburg a couple times.
Huh.
He's phenomenal. I love his music, have for many, many years. But I've never read this book. People have always told me I should. And I finally, I knew I was going to go on this Western marathon, so I've been saving it for that. And it blew me away, man. This is one of the best books of all time. It's so freaking good. The sequel I'm reading right now, Streets of Laredo, not as good, but
I haven't
still.
Yeah, I never read the sequel. Have you watched the series?
I did as a kid.
Okay.
I don't remember it at all.
I think I may watch that tonight. How crazy is that? I think I will.
Yeah. I know the casting is so perfect because as I was reading the book, again, not even really remembering it, but like, oh yeah, I can hear Robert Duvall, Tommy Lee Jones, and Danny Glover. Like, those are the right people to play these characters.
Star-studded cast. Star-studded.
Yeah. It's man, I read a lot of books, Friends and Neighbors. That one blew me away. It is so good, and I am not saying that lightly. Lonesome Dove is awesome.
It's awesome.
Lives up to it.
So good. All right. So that is me, and we will. Oh, when do you want to do rankings? We got to do rankings soon, ish.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Probably a little early. Rankings are going to change a lot. We can find something to talk about.
I just feel like we need a really early rankings just to throw it out there.
If you want to do a way too early rankings, we can. Then we're gonna have to do another ranking show as we get closer. Okay, we can do like top 25 players or something like that.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
All right. So I will catch y'all later, Foley.
Goodbye. I love you.
All right.